are as follows: Kel Crane, Dusty Mabel, and Brian Higgerson. Tim pulled out.
Chairman.
Can we ask that each one of them come up and kind of introduce yourselves? Questions? I mean, how you gonna do it? Start out with Cale. Is that all right? Cale, would you come forward? Yes, come podium. Kind of introduce yourself. If any commissioners have a question, you can answer it. Ask it.
Well, I'm Kel Crane, most of y'all know me, know my family. I'd like to be appointed in this position, hopefully better the county, and hopefully return some official will. Do what I can do as a resident of this county. It's better for all kids, grandkids.
Anybody got any questions?
You're planning on running for the seat election?
Yes, sir.
Election?
Yes, sir. Have you already filed the paperwork letter? It was picked up. I had picked it up.
Anybody else?
What do you feel the biggest issue facing the county is current climate?
I think the biggest issue are growth. Hopefully, be able to see it grow more, more for the good and not for the bad.
I got one. So how will you handle doing the right thing versus doing the popular thing? Because in this position, you'll run into that quite a bit. So
Well, that's a good question. Studying upon it, and hopefully my decision, whatever has been made, will be best for what's for the county. So I know certain things aren't popular, decisions are not popular, talk about quite often, I'm sure. And decisions that you do make, but you make them at the point which you think is.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Dusty?
Good evening, gentlemen of the board. My name is Dustin Bigwell. Most of y'all know me. I'm a lifetime citizen of Buren County. Lived here 34 years, so I'm alive. My desire to be on the county commission is to hopefully aid y'all. I know some of y'all been on here a while and you don't have any experience. And desire to see this county better, grow, and do what it needs to do to govern this body to the best of y'all's ability. And I desire to hold that position with y'all to help and aid to grow and to help this county grow for better tomorrow and better future for everybody that lives here and those that come, and our kids are coming behind us.
Questions?
And are you planning on running for the seat when it comes up in the election?
Yes, sir.
Because Bakes, I'll tell you, there's going to be 2 seats because I'm not running again. So there will be 2 seats in the first district available.
Yes, sir.
Out there.
I'm just letting you know that.
I'll just ask you the same question that I asked Mr. Crane. So how will you handle doing the right thing versus the popular thing in this position?
Well, I think the right thing, it's going to have to be the betterment. What's going to be best for the county and for the citizens of the county and this governing board. I think if it's the popular thing to do, it might not be the right thing to do. You know, I plan to handle myself in a proper, upright way. Whether it causes me criticism or applause, I'm not gonna sway my decision. And just because, you know, a group over here or a group over there might talk about me. So I'm gonna do what's best for this governing board, this county, to make sure Van Buren County name stays great.
I'll ask the same question. What do you feel like the biggest issue facing is?
Probably the biggest issue I see is, I guess, our lack of growth, maybe. our infrastructure might be not up to par to handle any kind of business coming in, like bigger business that would bring that kind of growth. But other than that, probably maybe the biggest that I see in my eyes.
How do you feel about representing your county or or district?
Well, I'll be very proud to represent my district. I've lived in Spencer all my life, said 34 years. I love my county. I go everywhere. I go other places. I travel a little bit, but I'm always proud to come back home, and I'm proud to say that Van Buren County is my hometown, and I enjoy representing it everywhere I go.
Well, what I'm really asking is the meetings that you have to attend.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it feels better to stay at home in the recliner.
Yeah, I know we all have to deal with that, but when I commit to something, I'm committed to be here on time, every time. Unless it's one of those act of God things where you cannot just be here. I know everyone deals with things, their schedules, but I do plan, if I'm appointed to this commission, to be here on time and prompt and well suited to handle the position that I would be in.
Dusty, have you already filed a run? Have you picked up your paperwork yet?
No, sir, I haven't.
There'll be a opening in the 3rd district too.
Fourth.
Any other questions? No, thank you.
Thank you.
Brian?
Hello, I'm Brian Hickerson. I'm married to Sarah Creasy Hickerson. I'm also a lifelong resident of Van Buren County. I'm also a graduate of Leadership Van Buren. I have experience in local government, accounting, and budgeting. I currently work for municipal government, electric department as a supervisor of engineering and construction. And I co-manage and share the responsibility in overseeing planning the budget in our department. And so, any questions?
Brian, being a county commissioner, you get elected by your district. But your responsibility is to represent everybody in Van Buren County.
Yes, sir.
You realize that?
Yes, sir.
And you come with a good qualification, you do, you say,
Yes,
on the
sir.
budget? Okay. So as long as you understand, you're elected by your district, but your job as a county commissioner is to see everything is going right in the whole county. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
You planning on running for the office?
Yes, sir. I've picked up my papers. I've not turned them back in yet, but I have picked up papers.
I'll go ahead. What do you feel like the most important thing is to the county?
Like Dusty said too, infrastructure is one, and economic growth I feel is important.
I'll ask the same question of you that I asked of the other two. So how you handle doing the right thing versus the popular thing?
Well, I live by the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated. And when I'm trying to make decisions like that, I look inside and let my heart be the judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I'll open the floor up for nominations.
Mr. Chairman,
Bill?
nominate Cale Crane for position.
Second.
Mr. Chairman,
See, we just need a motion to nominate. Who else said?
nominate Brian Hickerson.
I didn't know.
That's what he said.
Any other nominations? Any other action?
Motion to cease nominations.
Motion to cease nominations by Will. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mickey. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Two nominations. Vote on Cale Curran. Start with. Roll call, please.
David Chandler,
Yes.
Joy Grissom,
Yes.
Terry Hickey,
Yes.
William Maxwell,
Yes.
Bill Mosley,
Abstain.
Mickey Robinson,
Yes.
Henry Simmons,
yes.
Brian Simmons,
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Ryan Hickerson.
David Chandler,
Yes.
Joy Grissom,
Yes.
Terry Hickey,
Yes.
William Maxwell,
No.
Bill Mosley,
Yes.
Mickey Robinson,
No.
Henry Simmons,
No.
Brian Simmons,
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle.
Oh.
Hell it is.
I, Gilbert, do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will perform. With fidelity the duties. Of the office. To which I have been nominated, or elected. To which I have been elected. Which I am about to assume. I do solemnly swear. I do solemnly swear. To support the constitutions. Tennessee. And the United States. And to faithfully. Perform the duties. Of the office of County Commissioner. Representing the first district. Of Van Buren County.
I need to sign this here. Get the vote now.
Come on.
All right, item number 6, notary approval for Crystal Ray Hunt.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the notary for Ms. Hunt.
I got a motion by David. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Simmons. Roll call, please.
David Chandler,
Yes.
Joy Grissom,
Yes.
Terry Hickey,
Yes.
William Maxwell,
No.
Bill Mosley,
Yes.
Mickey Robinson, Henry Simmons,
No.
Brian Simmons, Robert Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Cale Crane.
We should change your vote. Not motion carries. Item number 7, notary approval for Carla Faye.
Mr. Chairman, motion approved.
Motion by Will. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Mosley.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
David Chandler,
Yes.
Joy Grissom,
Yes.
Terry Hickey,
Yes.
William Maxwell,
Yes.
Bill Mosley,
Yes.
Mickey Robinson, Henry Simmons,
Yes.
Brian Simmons,
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle,
Yeah.
Cale Crane.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Motion carries. Item number 8, quarterly reports. Questions, comments, or anything on them?
What is that? I may have done figured it out.
Any action?
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve quarter reports as in.
Motion to Will to approve as presented. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by David. Roll call, please.
David Chandler.
Yes.
Joy Grissom.
Yes.
Terry Hickey.
Yes.
William Maxwell.
Yes.
Bill Mosley.
Yes.
Henry Simmons.
Yes.
Brian Simmons.
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle. Cale Crane.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Not, motion carries.
Real quick, I did have a question. I couldn't find it right off while we're talking, but Greg, I noticed there was one EMS vehicle that didn't have an increase in mileage very much for the last, do we have something wrong with or a breakdown? The older one? Okay. It's the backup. Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know if it was, if we had a problem. Okay. Well,
Anything else?
no, I'm just trying to figure it out when we were talking there. Didn't affect anything.
Item number 9, budget amendments. Will?
Sorry, just a second. Let me grab them. Looks like we had two things here. We approved a budget amendment. It was in January, at the January meeting, and it was just a, the line item was stated wrong. It was stated as 210, and it should be stated as 204 in the highway department for retirement. So it should be stated as 31-66000-204.
Honey, I was right, it's just a different
Yeah,
line.
everything was right. We just had recorded the incorrect line. Is that right? Jessica? Yeah. So we recorded 210. It needs to be 204. Motion to approve that.
Motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Mr. Simmons. Roll call, please.
David Chandler.
Yes.
Joy Grissom.
Yes.
Terry Hickey. William Maxwell.
Yes.
Bill Mosley.
Yes.
Henry Simmons.
Yes.
Brian Simmons.
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Cale Crane.
Wish to change your vote? Not, motion carries.
All right. The next item was, we had talked, there's lots of confusion on this. Jessica, you might have to help me straighten this out, but in the August 2021 minutes, we purchased some patrol vehicles from the sheriff department. Part of this was from a grant. And it appears that we have misstated the number on that one too. Is that right, Jessica?
Yes. We agreed to purchase those. Yeah, you got it. Sorry. We agreed to purchase those, but we didn't get those till the end of the year. So when I went to pay for them, it was a liability line item, which is the 20,000s, and it needs to be expenditure number, which is the
Okay.
50,000s.
Okay. So it needs to be the 122-54150-719. I'm sorry, 718. Yes. Okay.
Purchase drug fund, we purchased one, right?
Well, a grant paid for 40% or 55% of both of them, right?
Yes, which is why this is not the total amount. The rest of the several thousands, like 4,000, will have to come out of the
Sheriff's budget.
sheriff's budget, which is why we're only moving the 37,199.
So we had
Out of
already
drug
approved
fund.
this 37,000 to go over into it. We just had the wrong line item.
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's, to make sure everybody understood that. So to correct the line item, it should move to line 122-54150-718.
But we're creating that line item to move it to the 101-5411718. We're moving it out of the drug fund into the sheriff's department's. truck
So the
line item.
122 is in the general fund in sheriff's.
I need that line item to write a check to move it to the general fund.
So we need to create line item 122 5450-718. That doesn't exist currently. Okay, I'm sorry. I was totally confused. Okay. Motion to create line item 122-541-550-7. I'm straight now. I got it now.
Motion by Wilbur here, second. Second, Mr. Van Winkle. Roll call, please.
David Chandler.
Yes.
Joy Grissom.
Yes.
Terry Hickey.
Yes.
William Maxwell.
Yes.
Bill Mosley.
Yes.
Henry Simmons.
Yes.
Brian Simmons. Robert Van Winkle. Kel Crane.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Not, motion carries.
That takes care of this. We're square now. Okay. Sorry, that's all I have.
No other budget meeting. Item number 10, Committee B report. Simmons.
Mr. Chairman, committee met on January 25th. We had, it was 2 or 3 items on the agenda. The first item on the agenda was the BDS real estate. We had a proposal. Ms. Harmon spoke to Committee B. She had 3 offers on the property at that time. She said that she had showed the property approximately 9 times to interested parties and had received 3 offers. Offer 1 was for $150,000, but that offer had been withdrawn. Offer 2 was $170,000, but this offer was contingent on that person selling their current home, and it was only a verbal offer.
Is it not?
Okay, but it was withdrawn. Okay. Offer 3 was a cash offer. Was for $160,000, and that party had signed a contract, which we refused the offer. We discussed some counter offers, and once that counter offer was made, that offer down. So there's no, I don't need any action on that. Since the offer was refused.
I believe she's received 2 offers since. Correct.
That's correct. And I think we're going to bring that up under new business. Item number 2 was, we discussed remodeling the Masonic building, be used as a daycare center. At the time of our meeting, we've been approached by 3 different parties in the last few months. I think since then, 1 may have backed out, but we looked at revamping that Masonic building to bring it up to code for a daycare center. There has to be a door added, a ramp made, I think a playground with a fenced-in area. And all that stuff has to be done even before we could even consider that. We had instructed the mayor to get us a price on that. That price come back, it would cost somewhere between $27,000 and $32,000 to bring the upstairs of the building to make it good for a daycare. Later on, after we talked about this first time, it's come to our attention now that we may be, or we can, I think, use some of the COVID-19 grant money to do this. I'll let Mayor Wilson talk about that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The COVID money, the APR America Rescue Plan, ARP, I'm sorry. The one thing that they done with the interim final rule, they removed a lot of things, but left 3 things, which is pension, debt, or rainy day fund or reserve fund, ever how you want to do it. You can't deposit any of those, and pretty much they removed all restrictions, pretty much. The only thing that you have to do is say, okay, this is what we're going to do with the money. In other words, we have to submit a plan. It's there and it has to be in the computer every time we do a report. So one of the things that they did highly recommend that was not in before the interim final review was was childcare. And especially they were encouraging the rural areas. When I saw that, I thought, well, this would be a good chance for us to be able to do that, because childcare in Van Buren County, if you have a child from 6 weeks old to 3, there's no childcare here. I mean, you know, we have the Head Start program across in the 3rd district that goes from 3 to 5, I think it is. But we have nothing of that nature, and that's why I went ahead and brought it. Had been discussion about it in the past among Committee B. The cost was a little too much, but now we have the COVID money. I'll talk a little bit about that under new business shortly, but we have the COVID money that we can use for that with a plan stating, a detailed plan stating what we will be using it for.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, did you get 3 estimates or just one?
Pardon?
Did you get 3 estimates from that 8,000 or just take?
We haven't put it out for bid or anything of that nature. If we put it out for bid, yes, we'd have to get a minimum of 3. Unless the commission waived that and accepted whatever bid come in. Y'all just asked me to find out about what it would cost, and it was range between 27 and 32, depending on how extensive you've done the downstairs in the kitchen area. So probably right around 32, which way prices are going up, it could be 33. I don't know, but that's just a good guess right now. And what I went out and got from a carpenter that does a lot of remodeling and things of that nature.
Thank you.
And I think we discussed that the upper level would be used for the childcare. The lower level would be a kitchen only. They could do the cooking and stuff down there, bring the food upstairs to the children. That way we wouldn't have to spend as much revamping that downstairs area.
Yeah, if you had kids downstairs, you'd have to have another exit downstairs.
Exactly.
In the front. There's one in the rear, but not one in the front.
Was this going to be a question for that? Is this like we're going to lease the building to a daycare? They pay a monthly rent?
You'd have to put it out for bid. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it would be more like a public-private partnership. It'd be us we would get the building up to specs, but then we would just put it out for lease. And like I said, we've already had 3 people asking. So what we would probably do on that is just take bids. Who'd be willing to pay the most rent is who we would let it go out to.
Do we have to equip it with a playground and things like with the equipment itself?
That would have to be fenced in and a playground set appropriate for that age group. And you know what that is, I don't know, but yeah.
I didn't know if that was in your figures.
It is in the figures, yes. Yeah.
So at this point, are we going to approve to put together a plan to submit for the money, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, if the money's
assuming
there,
it's gonna-
you just have to state what you're using it for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to put this in the form of motion to go ahead and get this started.
Motion by Brian, to hear a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Hickey. Roll call, please.
David Chandler,
Yes.
Joy Grissom,
Yes.
Terry Hickey,
Yes.
William Maxwell,
Yes.
Bill Mosley,
Yes.
Henry Simmons,
Yes.
Ron Simmons,
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle, Kel Crane.
You know, we should change your vote. Not, motion carries.
Now, are you going to put a price to it?
I
I think we're low.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got the specs and everything that we need, so we'll go ahead and put that out then. Okay.
We did have one bit of new business. We discussed extending the Piney Creek Road by 900 feet. This is already a county road, but there's about 900 feet of that road that the county at this time ain't taking care of. The road superintendent has no problem with this, but we just need to get approval for him to go in and start taking care of that. And I'll put that into a form of motion.
Motion by Brian and second by who?
Bill.
Bill. Roll call, please.
David Chandler.
Yes.
Billy Grissom.
Yes.
Terry Hickey.
Yes.
William Maxwell.
Yes.
Bill Mosley.
Yes.
Henry Simmons.
Yes.
Ron Simmons.
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Dale Brown.
Yes.
Anyone wish to change your vote? Not, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that's all committee B business.
Any old business? Any new business?
I've got several things here just to talk about real quick, but Melissa Harmon has got two offers that she would like to discuss with the commission.
The one that made the $170,000 offer, it was in writing, and the offer was rejected. It was contingent on the sale of his home. He went back to Kenny DeLon and has upped his offer to $225,000. However, it is still contingent on the sale of his home. He wants to make it into a, let me read his. I don't know what. He'll be turning it into an auto repair fabrication shop specializing in off-road vehicles. The land will be turned into a motorsports complex for events, which will bring together the community and bring in others from all over the nation to boost local economy. So Aaron is a married man with kids and all, and he wants to come in. He'll have to put a home on there because it's not really fit to live in. His house will go on the market the day that, if y'all accept this, I've spoken to his agent. It's a nice house in Pennsylvania. He'll pay their balance in cash. Citizens Tri-County has agreed to finance 180,000 of it, and the rest will be cash. But we do have another competing offer that came in yesterday. And I was just going to give Jason a chance to come up and tell what his ideas are and his offer. So his offer differs in this way: is his is 220,000. Also uses Citizens Tri-County. The reason we've gone with them is they know this property. They don't have as some other banks would have a harder time financing it because it is a property. And he already had loan approval on a house, so we're kind of using that loan approval letter at the moment. But Kenny's still working on. Has no contingencies and no inspection, so his offer is at 220,000, correct?
Hello, I'm Jason. Last year I started a nonprofit called Auxilium Auto, and its purpose is to provide financing for people who depend on their vehicles for medical reasons, to get to school, to see family. I work for Metro Nashville Police Department, and I see a lot of crashes, unfortunately, sometimes fatalities that are caused by things that could be prevented if somebody could afford the things in the vehicle to keep them safe. So last year I started Auxilium Auto, which is really new. So I haven't done a whole lot with it, but with this property, I'll actually have a place where I can use as a home base of operations for the. Thank you.
A time frame we're looking at on the guy from Pennsylvania that you talked about had to sell his home?
Both of them
Can do as far as the trash compactor removal and other cleanup?
It was agreed upon when we signed the contract. And yes, we do have a spot to move a little bit further up the road. just right off of Baker Mountain Road exit there.
So Piney will have its own convenience center. So that's a big thing to me. I want Piney to have somewhere to take their garbage.
Yeah, we would move it up there. I mean,
So
It's contingent on selling his home. This guy had no contingencies. Okay. Basically there, right? A nonprofit thing you talked about. It doesn't matter.
it don't matter.
excuse me, sir. He needs to come up here. We got it on Facebook and he said, you got to speak in the microphone where everybody can hear it. Sorry.
So in theory, I would take a personal vehicle on my 20-foot trailer, wherever it is in Middle Tennessee. Bring it there. Like if they needed new tires, I would pop the tires off and take it to a local place to have them replace them. So it's done by a professional, but it wouldn't necessarily be a place where I'm doing all the work or I'm hiring people to do it there.
So how many people would you employ, you think?
Wouldn't it just be a sole operation at this point? Because like I said, it's pretty new. And it's funded by me working overtime in Nashville right now. But one of my plans is to go to events and promote it over the next however long I'm able to do it, to garner some more financing and more interest.
Thank you.
Commission want to do?
For like, is he want to turn it into something like mudding and that type of four-wheeler off-road type vehicles for jumps and mud, whatever? We need to have a discussion on this. Kind of hard to make a decision right off on that. They're so close.
Do they need an answer? Do you need an answer tonight? I mean, since he brought the, of course, I don't know what the wishes of the commission are, but that might be a question that y'all need to. Okay.
So how do you do that? Do you sell this house?
Second. Would you be ready to close within 30 days is what you're saying?
So in a sense, both have contingencies, one on financing and one on. Right. Okay. Got it.
So the offers are very similar, but one in price, one is 220,000. The financing is the only contingency. There are no inspections. The other one is 225,000 with the contingency to sell the home. Again, I mean, he's ready to go with it, but it would be contingent on the sale of the home because part of the proceeds would be going toward the purchase.
So what you're saying is, one guy has to sell his house before he buy it.
Yes,
The other guy don't have to sell his house. He's ready to buy it now.
correct. And the offers differ by $5,000.
Good enough. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept this $220,000 offer for this BDS property and sell it within 30 days.
Motion by Terry to hear.
Second.
Second by Will. Roll call, please.
David Chandler.
Yes.
Joey Harrison.
Yes.
Terry Hickey.
Yes.
William Maxwell.
Yes.
Bill Mosley.
No.
Henry Simmons.
Yes.
Brian Simmons.
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle.
Yes.
Kell Brown.
Yes.
You want to wish to change your vote? No, motion carries.
Pardon?
You'll take care of whatever. it means.
Yeah. I'll After the meeting, I'll get with Melissa. After the meeting, I'll get with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other new business?
Yeah. Just, mine is real quick. I just got a couple of things to, as you can see, and you have a trial balance in front of you of all of our funds. And as you can see, of course, we're right now about 2 weeks, 13 days left of this month. We, in the general fund, as you can see there, and I'll say this for the audience out there, we're at 1.833, well, that's $1,833,106.38 in the trial balance. Court maintenance, that's at 33,452. Sanitation's at 117,365. Ambulance service is at 211,643. Local purpose taxes at $117,142. Drug control is at $85,487. I'll skip down to debt service. And the debt service is at $623,068. In the general capital projects, which is where the COVID money is, that I was talking about, the American Rescue Plan, is at $372,504. And one thing I want to talk about, a couple of calls last night about a meeting where I said we have already spent and what we do, we get $1,140,000 and change in American Rescue Plan. That you get half of it, which we got first half in May of last year. We'll get the second half in May of this year if that money is expended. If not, that will extend on out a few months. But there's only been, as you can see, just a little less than 100,000, or I'm sorry, about $98,000 that has been spent out of that money that first come in last May. It was said last night at a meeting, and of course, I'm just quoting what the question was given, that we spent $570,000 on REMI systems for our churches in the county. You are allowed to do mitigation efforts throughout the county. Now, one thing is what you look at is where are people, and I want people to understand and get it right before they go off telling stuff like this. What you have is you've got mitigation efforts that could be going through and buying masks. You know, we put a thing a couple of weeks ago, we got KN95 masks. Anybody here wants one? I've got plenty. Meet me after the meeting and I'll give you one. But also too, in mitigation is where do people go weekly consistently in Van Buren County? 2 and 3 times a week. Exactly, churches. And we want to protect those people that go there. We want to protect people in these buildings because we're going to put those REMI systems in this building. We're going to put it in the Barrett College building. We're also going to put it in the Agricultural Education Center. We're also going to put it in the library, but also in the library and the Agricultural Education Center and the Barrett. We're able to use that COVID, I call it COVID money, it's American Rescue Plan money, to replace the HVAC systems there. And that's going to be at a cost of $30,000 for the old Barrett College because there's like 3 there. The cost for the agricultural building, there's 2, and we're going to put 2 5-tons there, along with the REMI systems there for $25,000. We also, for the churches, and it was said that we spent $570,000 on the churches for the REMI system. That is not true. I want people to understand that is not true. Get facts right before you go out and tell things like that. It's $18,500 for the churches to protect people that go to church every week. Or if they're going to the Barrett College to have birthday parties and things of that nature, Cattlemen Association meetings and things of that nature at the agricultural education, and or you go to the library, we want to help protect it. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to go in there and be COVID free. It reduces 70% of all viruses that are spreadable. Now, I have this here. It's $3,000 for this building to put those REMI systems. When we built this building, we didn't have COVID. So that is one thing. In the library, I'll tell you about the library. We've had nothing but problems with that one because when they built back in the 90s, I can't remember exactly the year, they put the system inside for that great big library. And all we've had is condensation. It's caught on fire, what, twice, Jessica? And flooded once. So we're going to take that out and do away with it, put it, use it for a closet. And we're going to just take the system completely outside. So it's going to cost a little more to be able to do that. And so it's $16,500. It's the APR. And that's, you know, this commission approved that. They recognized the problem, and I thank you for it. And people in this county needs to thank you for it. Next thing is explain I wanted to talk, I got a question about the trash truck. We talked about it last community meeting. There was no action taken. I asked or told them, I was telling them about my idea of the trash truck. That, and I'm talking about a roll-off truck, not a one that goes by and picks up, because that was a question that this person asked. I said, no, it's what we go pick up containers with. Well, that truck, we are currently right now leasing that truck. It did tear up. The other truck was already tore up with electrical system. So it was already down. We ended up having to go through Southern Central, which is where we take our trash to their transfer station. We had to contract with them for 2.5 weeks to haul the trash. It was either that or about 50 or 60 tons of trash is going to be spread all over Van Buren County. And I don't think any of us want that. And that costed us a little over 5,000, Jessica. That cost us a little over 5,000. We were under in our contract line item in the sanitation at that point, and I think we'll still be okay. Might have to adjust it toward the end of this year. I hope not, but may have to. But we had to do that. Now, to fix that, it didn't cost us anything. We paid for it. They reimbursed us because it's under lease. They take care of it. We had to wait on the part. If you tried to go get a major part for a vehicle, how hard is it, Terry? You deal with it every day. You can't get them. But we were able to get this in 2.5 weeks and got it taken care of. Now, that 126. Let me finish here and then you can ask a question. I'm done. No, I'm not going by hearsay. I'm going by what 2 people called me last night and asked. Anyway, and I don't know what you're talking about, but I know what 2 people called me and asked me. Now, anyway, $126,000 that truck, if we buy it, it's 1 year old. It's 1 year old. If we buy it at $126,000, guess what money we can use to buy it with? COVID money. It's not going to cost the county a dime out of these funds that I just talked about. Not a dime. It's money that has been given to Van Buren County, or going to be given to Van Buren County through the American Rescue Plan. Secondly, with that, I feel like that's going to do away with $48,000 a year on that lease. I think at that time, I think we can recommend to the Committee A and then forward them to the commission that we could possibly lower that sanitation fee. So we're going to save $48,000 a year. So I think we could actually lower that a little bit. Then I got a question again about the water. Van Buren County, and we appointed the committee, I think it was back in November, for the water. TDEC is going to be given Van Buren County I think right at 2.3 million. And we have to have a plan in by May. Has to be. I double checked again today. In fact, lady was happened to be up there, and I asked her if it was still May, and she said yes. There are several things you can do with that. You can rehab. We have 3 systems in this county. We have Warren County, Spencer City, Warren County Utility District, Spencer City water system, and then Fall Creek Falls District. Warren County Utility District has about 10%. Spencer City, City of Spencer has 70%. Fall Creek Falls Utility District has 20%. Well, when you look at that, we need to go to them and contact them. We've already talked some about, and talking with Mickey as well, about what their needs are or their water system. And we're going to have some money to help them do that. Now, one thing I think we greatly need to look at, and Warren County Utility District has Rocky River and a large, not a large part, but a good sizable part of Cedar Grove. Henry, you probably know what they have a little better than I do down there, but if you get to the Highway 30 market, basically everything on the right that are from that point on both sides of the road, I'm sorry, all the way to the county line is serviced by Warren County Utility District. But the people on Rocky River Mountain have been up there probably ever since this county has come into existence. The city of Spencer did not get water, and I think it was until 1962 is when the water was first, city water was first established in Van Buren County, any kind of city water. So when you look at that, and then they ended up taking it to Rocky River in the valley. It never was taken to Rocky River Mountain, that area there of the community. And also there's a very good, I think, good vine sets up there that would benefit from that. And I think that would be one of the things we need to do. And along with working with the city of Spencer, Fall Creek Falls Utility, and again, kind of talk to them, and we'll be meeting with our committee on that. Probably, hopefully, if everybody's schedule will work out by the end of this month, to help and meet with those 3 districts and what they need. I think that's it on that. I do have one other thing under new business. Chairman, since Cale, and we have to make it official since Cale's here tonight, and that opening for that committee is Committee B, and I would like to submit his name for appointment to Committee B. When y'all ratify it.
Here, motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Will, to hear second.
Second.
Mr. Simmons. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Anything else?
I have nothing. No.
Anything else?
Chairman, I'd like to have the floor.
Go ahead.
I'm not on Committee A. I read where we got $387 block grant. I've been a commissioner for almost 4 years. We'll be in August. I haven't saw any COLA money at all go to community centers. I got 4 of them in my district. All of them needs fixing. And it's gonna fall back on how Committee A wants to spend it, I guess. But I got a question. We need these convenience centers for old people to go to. They haven't had no fundraising on account of COVID for the last 2 years. They got no way of raising money to fix their community center. I don't know why. And I want to know now why we can't get some money for our convenience centers. I got 4 in my district. And we got some across the mountain and everywhere else. These people need something to go together, play rook, have rook tournaments, have benefits. They can't do it. The community centers ain't got no money. So bottom line is, I hope Committee A recommends for the full commission to vote on quite a bit of money to get my community centers fixed and other community centers fixed. They can't even rent the community centers out to people to have Christmas family get together that they used to do, but they don't now. You know why? The floors are falling out. The doors are rotten. They need fixing. And I haven't saw 1 penny of COVID money spent on community centers in my county. And I hope y'all spend some of that. I'll let you speak.
Okay.
I hope you spend some of that on community centers.
You know.
I got 4 in my district.
I understand. Committee A was to meet on the 7th.
Mhm.
We did not. We had a COVID outbreak in this building. We postponed it until the 22nd. Didn't think it'd be safe for people to come in at that time because we had several cases in this building. As you can see, when you come in, there's a encouragement of a mask when you come into this building to do business. But I had it down before the interim final review, which removed the restrictions. Before that, it was not, you were not able to do that. They removed that last month. Beginning of, I might have been the end of December, 1st of January. Well, I have in there to offer out to Committee A, but there's a catch to it. They have to have a plan. I explained that to one of the only ones in your district that has said anything to me about it. I hadn't had any of the other 3 say anything to me about the COVID money with the exception of Cedar Grove. And I told her one last week, I said, you know, give me you have to put in what you're going to use the money for. We just can't cut a check and give it to them. You know, it's got to be a plan. Well, she's giving me that plan. And of course, I'm going to give that to Committee A on the 22nd. And it's going to be what I'm going to offer Committee A will be that what I just said, if y'all want to do that. Also, $10,000 to the same thing to the fire departments. Would be the same thing for their buildings, their equipment that may be needing to be fixed. That's other than the equipment that they have that we've gotten through the grants. And the CDBG grant, yeah, was $387,000. And that goes to the fire departments. You know, and I've sat here and preached before, you know, we've been able to do over $900,000 in grants in the last 3 to 4 years for the fire departments. And I think it's about 30 years too late.
The fire department are going to itemize what they're going to spend their money for too?
We're looking at 2 different things, 2 totally different things. That CDBG is not the COVID money. It's not American Rescue Plan.
We have to keep up with what the fire department.
Yeah. And list. They turn in a yearly budget. They turn in a list of what they own, what they have, what we get off the grants. Van Buren County owns those, own that. Now, the community centers could put out there and try to put in for one. They can't qualify because it's not made for community centers.
I understand the county don't.
We are in a, but let me just finish. We are in a very good, unique position right now with the APR money, American or ARP. I'm sorry, there's two different, there's an APR too. ARP money to be able to help the community centers that we've never been able to do before. So I think this time, around, we'll be able to do that and help them fix those issues that they've got at their centers.
I understand the community centers are not county owned. They're owned by the people.
Right.
And you probably got a problem with that. But I wish somebody.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, our fire departments are.
I'm talking technically, you probably got a problem with that. I wish somebody would put in for a grant for community centers.
Which what now?
Put in a grant so we can get money for a community center. A big grant.
I understand there's not one out there. Bill, is what I'm saying. I've never seen one for a community center type thing. The only thing that we did do, we done the walking tracks at every community center.
I know you did.
And we done the playground equipment for every community center. We done the exercise equipment for every community center. And that's through Healthier Tennessee grants that we're able to get and the diabetes grant that we were able to get. So those were for that, but there's not any money for operating money to give to community centers. I wish there was. They're just not.
It's not fair to the old people.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying
They got to have a place to go to.
Yeah, and
Senior Citizen Center operates every day.
yeah, and so I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. Just there are not those type of grants that you're looking for out there. But we have that position now that we could be able to do something.
They've got to turn in a plan.
Thank you, Mayor.
Jessica, do you have anything? No.
Anything for the commission?
Mr. Chairman, motion to adjourn.
Does anybody from the crowd wish to address the board?
Please go to the podium. Come up to my.
How could I forget it? I don't think it was last week. I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah.
About, because I was trying to find out some more.
Yeah.
About the transmission on the garbage truck.
I think the mayor just,
I'm asking you.
I think we got it fixed, did we not?
It was I'm wanting to.
And I think we had that in our discussion. We were like, hey, if it was worth fixing, fix it. We were wondering if the company was going to hold to the lease and fix the truck, and did they not?
It did.
So there you go.
Okay. Now, this is where it comes from. Okay. When I called you and I asked you if it had been paid for, and you said they denied the insurance claim on the transmission. Yes, you did.
I did not.
Okay. And then I asked if it was going to be pursued, and you said, of course, we'll keep pursuing.
We did. The lease paid for it. Let's talk about, would they hold up their end of the lease? And they did.
They did not have an account.
Yeah.
Evergreen.
Yeah. They're reimbursed by Buren County. Yeah.
I'm just saying. That was my.
Here you go, Miss Wallace. Do not try to make me look bad just for your political
Well,
gains. I know this is election time, but don't try to make me look bad. You know what I meant when I talked to you. We wanted to see if they would hold up to their lease, and they did. So there we go.
I asked you a specific question. It was.
You asked me a lot of questions
I do.
at like 10 o'clock at night after I got off work, working a 12-hour shift. I called you back and talked to you.
We're not going to argue here. If somebody's got a question, we'll ask a question.
And the next question was, when I asked you after the meeting, how much it cost for the rent, the truck, to lease that truck, and you said it was 4 days at 5,000.
1 week, it was 3,000.
How many days was that? I believe you said it was 4 days at 5,000. That's where I came to that number.
It may have been 3 and 1 day and 2 in the next.
Okay.
So a total of 5 days.
Let me explain a little bit about that. When we did the lease, we had to pay for the driver. We had to pay for the hauling of our trash, and they haul by the load what they pick up, and then they charge a pickup charge, and then they charged us for the tonnage. And for what that was, I mean, for that right at about a 2 and period. I'm not talking about working days. pretty good price, and to help us out. And they've been,
Cleary, but was actually more like
it was more than that. Yeah. It was more than 4 or 5 days. I know that.
Anybody else?
For the water, the grant, is there a committee for that, that we could get, that I could participate in? I wanted to,
Have a committee of 4 commissioners.
there's no public, I mean, none of
You
the.
can come and attend. When we set the date, you can come and
What
attend.
I'm looking for, some help in the Piney and Baker Mountain area, we still have moratorium
Okay,
on.
here's the thing, and I may not explain. We just can't say, city of Spencer, you're going to do this, because it's 2 different governments. It's up to them. Our Warren County Utility District, our Fall Creek Falls. What's going to be is, what are your needs to those 3 utility districts? And
Still, is Spencer Utility still paying the fine on the water?
you'll have to address that to the city. I don't know. Again, it's 2 different governments. And I understand your question.
How can I get involved? That's what I'm at. When would I go?
We will meet with those utility districts as soon as we get a date for it, like to do it by the end of this month. Each one of those have the same engineer. Each district, Spencer, Warren County, and Fall Creek Falls have the same engineer. So those plans be put out there. They are already working on them. I've asked them to do that, to present to the committee, myself and the committee. And again, this is money that comes to the county. As far as what the city, their plan is going to be, I don't
I
know.
read the initial report. I don't know how to find out when, will that be posted, or how would I?
It'll be
find out
advertised as we normally do for anything,
that we're
any
going to
meetings.
have a meeting and I'm allowed to go?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Just shoot me a text next week and should be able to tell you, okay?
Anybody else have anything? Will, is your motion still stand?
Yes, motion to adjourn.
Got a motion by Will to adjourn. To hear a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Siemens, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.